Hello, everyone. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and today we're talking about early retirement. Early retirement for New York City municipal workers. And you know that there's a furlough coming up, right? The New York City is going to furlough a number of employees, and it's a very odd kind of symbolic move because the number of employees that they're actually furloughing, I think they're going to save, we did the math, but less than a quarter to half a percent of the money that they're currently short by. So the furlough it really doesn't make any sense. I think they even acknowledge it's symbolic in nature, but even that doesn't make sense because if it's symbolic in nature, you're actually furloughing many of the employees who you should keep to figure out how you're going to make up the shortfall, right? So okay, setting aside the furlough, we've got the layoff looming for just a massive layoff for New York City teachers and New York City municipal employees. And people are saying, oh no, maybe they'll do an early retirement. And they've actually floated that idea themselves. Two problems with that. One, New York City, we think, is short about $12 billion. Truth of the matter is, nobody really knows, even New York City. But we think they're short about $12 billion. They can't currently borrow money, right? And the problem with early retirement is it's unlikely they'll actually be able to afford to offer anybody early retirement. Two, it's really unlikely that enough municipal workers would opt into the early retirement to actually make it useful in addressing the $12 billion shortfall, which is the number we're working from. It's what we view to be the most realistic number for the current New York City shortfall. So in the same way the furlough didn't make any sense, the early retirement offer probably also wouldn't make any sense. That being said, the mayor often does things that don't make any sense. So I could be wrong. It could still happen. It's just really unlikely. Somewhere, someone has to pull the mayor aside and just be like, listen, buddy, you don't have that money left anymore. You made some bad decisions. You did some things that hurt the city, and you don't have the money to do the things you're hoping to do to protect your legacy here, right? What a legacy, right? I drove New York City, one of the richest cities in the world, into the ground. I gave it a $12 billion shortfall. So let me, set aside the MTA, which is kind of a separate deal. They've got some federal funding influx recently. They're doing things like looking at cutting down services. So listen, they're in a separate category. But the municipal workers and the teachers, we saw the teachers. The city basically just said, hey, we're not going to pay your back pay, even though we know we owe you the back pay. Go ahead and sue us. Take us to arbitration on it. But we don't have it. We're not going to pay it. See ya, right? That's the level New York City is at right now. They're just openly breaking contracts, right? They're just openly not living up to their contracts with their own employees. They're not even making real legal arguments as to why they're doing it. They're just saying, sorry, don't have it, right? In a world where they're engaged in that, it's very unlikely that they're going to be like, oh, but we did find the money over here to help you all retire early. We just wanted to help you have a better life, get some money, go, be free, be free. No, it's not. It's not likely. Listen, without some kind of influx of money from the state or the feds, without being able to borrow again, it's just very unlikely. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It feels like the bearer of bad news. But I don't want you out there living, dreaming, planning about this early retirement. It's probably not realistic. And I'm sorry. Sorry to have to say that.